I gave a speech in college one time, and I said, look around. I told everybody, look around the room. What do you see? Do you see your friends or do you see your competition? Because right now we can all be in this room together and we can all be friends, but as soon as we leave and get into the real world, we're going to be competition. I was ready to get into the real world. I wanted to jumpstart on all of those people that were also in marketing or business or taking, I didn't want to sit around with them and learn the same crap that they were going to learn and then shoot out into the world. I wanted to be out there doing it. So I have a little bit of a cold, and I apologize for that. If my voice sounds like it has a cold, it's because I'm back in Tennessee, and in Tennessee, apparently I get head colds again. I don't know. I haven't had one for so long living in Florida that I can't even recall the last time I had one. But sure enough, this is the week for me, and I caught a head cold of some kind. I was just watching a video of a guy named James Altucher, or Altucher, I guess is how he likes to say it. I've spoken to James Altucher before. Text, if I text him, he usually texts back, and I've pitched some ideas for him, not for me, or not for a collaboration between the two of us to work together, but just some things that I thought that he would be interested in, and maybe he should do himself. And maybe one day he will do that. I mean, one of the things that I pitched him to do was he talks about every day writing down 10 ideas on, what do you call that? A waitress pad. I knew I'd remember it. It's like when a waitress comes up and she's got a little pad and she writes down your order, cheeseburger, fries, whatever. Well, apparently he has a collection of those from over the years, and I suppose he's been doing this for, 10, 20 something years, where he writes down his ideas on those notepads, and he does it every single day, he says. And so I had the idea that what he needed to do was turn that into a picture book, just showing some of the ideas. And the ones that are really interesting to him are the ones that he thinks he should revisit or actually do or actually did in the past. They should have kind of an outline of what happened or why it didn't go or something, kind of to teach people, what he was really looking for. He does this just to get things off his mind and to talk about things and come up with ideas, and I like it. I mean, I actually followed his advice for a little while. I got some of those little notepads, and every day I would spend a little bit of time and just try to write down and plunk down some ideas and stuff. I find oftentimes what works for one individual does not always work for another individual, and I don't know. It just didn't work for me. I coming from a songwriting background where I've written songs through Grammy winners and Dove Award winners and a bunch of guys with #1 songs and stuff. I do have notebooks of titles, lyrics, and things of that nature. But to sit down and just write down this idea, this idea, this idea, for me personally, I didn't feel like anything I was writing down was going to happen anyway. And it just seemed like I wouldn't say a colossal waste of time, but I would say that it just seemed like it was a waste of time for me personally. So, but I watched this video of him, and one of the things that he preaches and teaches and talks about is, what if college students didn't have to go to college, and instead they got the money saved or borrowed or loaned to them, however you want to say it, for 4 years? What would they be able to do and accomplish? And so his idea being that you go into college, you don't really learn anything as far as real life skills or anything. It's basically you graduate high school at 12th grade, and now you're in 13th grade and 14th and 15th and 16th. And at the same time, where the first 12 years really didn't cost you anything by taxes and everything else, the next 4 years is going to cost you, what, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $100,000, and sometimes even more, depending on what you're looking to do in life, you know. And so imagine having $100,000 head start after 4 years of not going to college. Like, what could you do and what could you accomplish, and where would you be? Well, I didn't have that. Me personally, I didn't have any kind of a head start or anything. But what I did know was college was not for me. I did not want to go to college. I didn't care anything about going to college or anything like that. I was talked into going to college because my girlfriend at the time was going to go to college. And I had a lot of pressure on me to go to college. And so in my case, 2 years after I graduated high school, I took the ACT test and I applied for 5 different colleges. And it was all BS colleges. Like, I'd never had a shot in the world to get into these colleges. And I didn't study for the test, and I didn't care to pass, and I just didn't care about any of it. What I wanted to do is take the test for her and then be able to say, well, see, I'm not really going to college or whatever. What happened, though, was the opposite. I tested really well. And all the colleges, Vanderbilt and MTSU and the one down there in Tampa, like, they all gave me acceptance letters, basically. I could go to any college that I wanted to. So fast forward, blah, 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 a lot of stuff happened. We went to MTSU, but she didn't get in. I got in. She had to take the remedials. That made her mad, so we transferred over to Ball State Community College in Tennessee in Gallatin, and which isn't a bad school. But I lasted a year, and then I was ready to go on my way. And then she was mad. She was mad the whole time, that she had to take the remedials, and, she could only take them there at Ball State, apparently. I don't know. But, I mean, that's the short story of my college career. Now, why do I even bring this up? Because I call it grunted, my way, all the way through my career. Has it hurt me not to have a college degree? You bet. If person A, in charge or in power of something, has a college degree, chances are they're looking for person B with a college degree. They don't want someone who works hard, learns, studies on his own, does whatever it takes in order to grow and build and turn yourself into something. I mean, I anointed myself as someone who could do public relations, having really never done public relations. Well, I got really successful doing it. I got clients, record labels, and I had artists, and and then it went into businesses and, all of this other stuff. I became a director of marketing, no college degree, director of marketing. A director of entertainment, and these are pretty high salary positions. These are not some low little somethings. These are pretty good. So I did that. I became a director of communications, which was more a volunteer thing because that was politics. And then I became a chief marketing officer. Like, in other words, like, I just worked and worked and worked, and I learned more than, I did everything that I could in order to have the career that I wanted to have and live through it. Not learn about it in a book, not become a backpotting buddy of, these other people that give each other awards for what? Like, that stuff drives me crazy even to this day. What did you do? You hadn't done anything. You made some friends, and y'all all got together and decided to pat each other on the back and give yourself awards. Well, they didn't build the largest online marketing company in Southwest Florida. I did, right? It's Gone Country Motorsports. I started with like 20,000 or so fans. It grew up to 200,000. I started with like 30,000 page views a year, and by the time I left, it was on the track at 3 million, and it was going to go to 10 if I kept working on it. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, I grew stuff. I've seen people get awards for like a grand opening of a store, and 13 people show up. And I'm trying my best not to curse when I'm saying all this, but it does upset me. It goes back to the fact he's saying that James Altucher says that, what if you had a head start in money? What could you do? You could do a lot of things, right? I mean, I started nothing, and I built and I grew a reputation, and I built some more and grew a reputation and continue growing. The last position I had, Chief Creative Officer, servicing 150 clients, anything from hotels, restaurants, bars, the air conditioning place, building websites and doing all kinds of stuff. I mean, good grief. Skills out the wazoo. It still hurts that I don't have a college degree. There are a lot of places that even at the most junior, they're looking for a bachelor degree of some type. So, is he right? You can have a head start? Absolutely. There's no question about it. You can, if you had $100,000 in the bank and you're 22 years old and you spent 4 years working towards your dream instead of paying someone else to teach you something that they want you to know, which, by the way, you're learning along with 17,000 other people, the same basic curriculum, skills, whatever. I actually gave a speech in college one time. And I know this video is getting a little long, but I gave a speech in college one time, and I said, look around. I told everybody, look around the room. What do you see? Do you see your friends, or do you see your competition? Because right now, we can all be in this room together, and we can all be friends. But as soon as we leave and get into the real world, we're going to be competition. I was ready to get into the real world. I wanted to jumpstart on all those people that were also in marketing or business or taking, I didn't want to sit around with them and learn the same crap that they were going to learn and then shoot out into the world. I wanted to be out there doing it, and that's what I did. And that's partially how I got to be, a chief marketing officer of a restaurant group, a growing restaurant group, right? And, it's like everything in life. I wish that would have worked better. The owners of the business, they couldn't get along. They blew apart, and, I collateral damage, I guess, in my restaurant career or my chief marketing officer career. But, you're going to have those situations. James Altucher, I love the guy. I mean, I don't always agree with him. And this is one that I would give a 50-50 to. Like, I kind of agree with James. College was not for me. I just wanted to work hard. I wanted to be out there and do it. But would it have helped me at this point to have, even at this point, to have a college degree, a piece of paper that said I did something for 4 years, along with, thousands of other people? Yeah, it would help. Because those people that have graduated hire those people that have graduated. That's just the bottom line. How do you break that? I don't know that I have a good answer. I don't know that James has a good answer. How do you break people who hire other people, hiring people just like themselves? That's the question for today. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Comment, subscribe, ring the bell. I hope you stick around. This used to be called the Open Doors and Opportunity channel. And this is kind of an open doors and opportunity kind of message. But now it's just called the Paul King Show. So I appreciate your time, and I'll see you soon. All right? Bye.